It's Ebro in the morning. It's Rosenberg. It's Laura Styles. Keke Palmer.
Hey, Keke is here. She's Snapchatting already.
Already, kids. Look at that.
Already, kids. Yeah, Keke says she's the Snapchat queen.
How?
It's the kids that say this.
The kids say this.
The kids say this. You know what I'm saying? I love Snapchat because it just captures every moment, and you get to be a part of the journey with whoever.
So now you've speaking of your Snapchat, we were doing research. You're the one that leaked the Rihanna or the Party Next Door version of Work that is Rihanna's song.
Yes.
And it was like a thing for a day or two.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. But it was really cool because people did know that he wrote that song, but I don't know. I guess it was just interesting to them to hear the reference. I didn't expect it to be such a big thing. I was just like, put it on my Snapchat because it was a dope, it was dope to hear the other version. But I mean,
So is the other version actually ever going to come out? So
no, not through me.
It did.
I don't know
You let it play the background.
But it was
not through me like the
Snapchat.
full one. Not through me the full one. I would have
Got
put the
it.
full one out.
So are you working with Party Next Door because he's a songwriter and you got music? Is that something y'all doing? You're not supposed to.
No, I'm not working with him.
Would you like to work with him?
Heck yes, absolutely. He's extremely talented.
And what about OVO and Drake and your project and everything you're working on?
I would love to work with them. I mean, I feel like if you love music, you would want to work with them because they're so talented.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're doing okay.
And it's good. It's good. They're good.
Yeah, they are. They make good
Your
songs.
record that you have right now with Jeremiah, I mean, that was a big deal too, right?
Enemies. Yes, I'm so excited about Enemies. I've been working on that for a minute. Really excited about the video as well.
And so you are writing with these artists? Like,
Yes.
how's it go for you? Because we know you,
I didn't
Tequila
co-write.
and the B. Like, I've watched you grow up. Then all of a sudden, one day, you're moving your ass cheek on the ground.
Just
I
one
know.
shot. Just
My
one.
little
No,
one
she
cheek,
had
right
both.
cheek, one cheek. Unfortunately, my 15-year-old sister's the one that taught me this. And I'm so mad that the kids out here today, we are already knowing the booty cheeks moves at 15. But my sister taught me, and so I had to do a little one time for the Instagram kids.
You learned it.
And
You learned it.
then you see the remake of all her videos that she's doing. 'Cause we were watching the Rihanna Work video
Hey, y'all
before we got in here.
busting the move, busting
You
the
just-
move.
you just-
That's tune, no, that track, when I first heard that track, I was like, there's no way that I'm not gonna do a concept video to this. There's no way.
So you just love dancing to songs. You just hear music and you envision yourself dancing to it.
I love dancing, but also, building up to my album, it's all about, for me, doing all the things that I love that I never got a chance to do with my acting. Now that I'm going into my music, I'm more allowed to be able to be more creative on a larger scale because I don't have to, I'm moving out of just only being an actor. I stopped doing music when I was like 13, came back for a second when I was 16, dropped the mixtape. And so now it's like, if I'm gonna go full force with it, I need to go full force with everything I'm about with music.
Right.
So you know what? I'm gonna start with my concept videos. So I dropped my first one. I did Type of Shit I Hate by Dolla. Then after that, I did
Damn, Makila and the
Down
B
in the
out here
DM,
cursing,
I'm a
man.
plug.
I'm not cussing. I'm old, man. These kids, they grow up and they start
You ain't
cursing,
old.
moving their ass cheeks around. I'm
No,
not
she's
built.
just a grown woman now.
Yeah, I'm not built. The transition takes a
You
minute
look
for
the
me.
same.
I don't believe you. I think you're all right.
Like, I just accepted the fact that Tinashe was getting older.
Oh, Tinashe. I've known
Oh,
Tinashe for a long time.
you know what? It's all. By the way, don't believe anything you say. It's. I no longer believe it.
Keke.
You act like you've known Tinashe since she was 12. It's not true.
It feels like
she was
it.
hot when she walked in here the first time.
Did not.
She wasn't hot
Right?
to me.
I mean, yes.
She was pretty, but I didn't find her sexy.
Nothing really
was
changed
a
that much.
child,
It was only 3 years ago.
All right, continue.
Sorry.
No,
This is
no.
about Keke Palmer. I'm sorry.
No. It's hilarious when you guys bust each other's balls.
We can talk about
You
other.
just said balls and shit and ass.
You've also talked about her ass 3 times. You have. She didn't bring it up.
I'm trying to get a
She's on the
said,
internet.
I'm trying to get- I'm
right
trying to
cheek,
get it.
left cheek, right cheek. She's in.
Look, we could talk about it.
So how do you do it? How do you separate the ass cheeks like that?
It's all about the muscles, baby. You got to be in that gym. You got to know what muscles took.
So you got to practice each specific gluteus.
Exactly.
and you don't even have to
Muscle.
have a big butt to do it. It's just
no
your muscles.
It's just the muscle. You can have a big booty, small booty. All
Any
of it.
size booty you like.
You know what this reminds me of? When I learned how to move my chest muscles.
You don't know how to
independently.
move those. Quit playing.
Would you stop?
What you
do-
doing?
Take off your clothes.
Oh! Wait, I'm
flexing pecs.
I'm so mad at you
That
you
was
so
so
on point like
repugnant.
that. I'm so mad he was so on point like that through the big old jacket too.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Listen,
so
Actually,
mad.
no,
My,
that's
my
pretty
bench press is
impressive.
real. My bench press is real. Don't
It
ever touch my
is.
bench press.
It is.
Wow, that was one of the
Through
most.
the jacket.
That
Don't
was
ever touch my
crazy
bench
though,
press.
y'all. We have to give him that.
That was He-Man or Jace. That was major.
So anyway, but it reminds me of that because when I was 15 in the mirror and you getting your little chest game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you
know
started
what I mean?
working on it?
You be like, hold up. And then at
Holla,
first it starts with
holla.
you holding your hands because you try.
You got to practice the muscle.
Yeah. Is it the same with the?
It's the same. It's the same exact thing. It's literally isolating just that booty muscle and just really getting busy with it.
That's it. It's so simple.
But doing it to
You
the
gonna
beat.
work on it? You gonna work on it?
Yes,
I'm
he
practicing
is.
in my chair. I can pretty much do it. I'm not gonna do it on camera though.
See, I did it. I did it right
Do
now.
it through
I'm
the
doing it
jeans
right
like
now.
I did it with the jacket.
Exactly. Now he ain't got that much cake. You know that. Okay.
Don't you talk about my cake,
his
Keke Palmer.
deadlifts are not on point.
So how
We
often
gonna
are you
go
in
to
the gym?
I'm in the gym a lot. I love working out. But then also I'm getting ready to train for another movie that I'll be doing in April where I'm getting ready for all y'all about to say after I say this. I'm getting ready to train for a movie where I'm gonna be a lesbian pimp.
I see it. The fur coat.
Interesting.
You're getting in the zone right now.
You kind of got like a raspy little voice, like, yeah, I want too many cool menthols.
Well, I'm actually gonna be very, very masculine in this movie. I'm actually supposed to be getting very ripped. You know what I mean? So I'm kicking some.
So what type of research are you doing for this role, Keke?
A lot of research. You know, actually, in order to get the role, my mom and I, we've always gone all out with everything I've ever done. We always go nuts for it. So I was like, I really want to do this movie. But again, it's like when people see you one way all the time, and whenever you enter anything new, they always, it takes so much to prove to them that you're not someone else.
So you went and shot a home porn with a girl and got it popping.
All
Had
right,
to.
it's a
So
little
now you're talking about
No.
far.
porn
Little
now?
girl on girl.
No,
Now
y'all
you
need
go-
to get him, okay?
I know.
Focus, Keke.
He's like, I don't like thinking of you.
Okay.
I don't like thinking of you. I'm so used to being a kid now about this girl on girl porn. What? You're full
He
of
always takes it too far. Okay.
So anyhow, I go to Chicago to my auntie's salon, and full of many different characters, and she actually happens to have a lot of lesbian friends. Anyhow, so I'm at the hair salon, and literally I just improv a whole scenario of if I was this character named Wednesday, and we just filmed it, a bunch of just random footage, me interacting, and me like literally. It was one of those moments where I had to go into method acting and really just fall into this personality.
We're regular people. We don't know what that means.
Well, pretty much-
Method versus.
Method acting is when you really become, you spend a large amount of time staying in that character. You
So
don't
like when
leave
you
out
hear
of
about
it.
the actors like for days and weeks
Like-
just being this
Like
person.
for Lincoln. The lead actor of Lincoln, he stayed Lincoln the entire time. When Denzel Washington did Malcolm X, apparently he stayed Malcolm X the entire time. Like even when he went home, he stayed Malcolm X. So that's similar to what I did, with this audition tape. Edited it up and sent it in, and that's how I got the part. And so, I'll be going ham.
As you should.
And will there be scenes?
There definitely will be scenes. There's a couple scenes. Because in the movie, what happens is the character Wednesday, she starts out being a very low-grade pimp. She got a couple of honeys, but they're really not out there making the money like that. And she also has this girl that she's grown up with that she's in love with. And so what happens is she realizes in order to get me and my girl out, I need to start making some major, major cash. And so pretty much she goes and steals a hoe that's kind of like, put you in the mind of like a Drea, like beautiful body, banging. She goes get her from another pimp, and they end up making mad money together. Wednesday ends up getting caught in the game so deep that she, ends up starting to trick her own girlfriend out, but she's not making as much money as the other girl.
As you talk, you're starting to sound like Lil Scrappy's mom from Love and Hip Hop ATL. Wasn't she a pimp? Like I started, like even your hand gestures and your tone of voice. Like, I'm starting to see the pimp thing
What was
come
Lil
out.
Scrappy's mom's name again?
I forgot.
No, it
Mama
was
D?
Mama D.
Mama
D.
D. There you go.
Mama D. What's up to Mama D? She been quiet ever since she got
Pimping.
married.
She been pimping. On the low. She's pimping.
But I'm excited. It'll be a fun movie. It'll be different. I love doing stuff that
So
people
how
don't
do you
expect.
how do you plan on balancing all this? I mean, it sounds like you got it under control, but a lot of times you hear when, an artist becomes a serious actor, they kind of lose the music thing, or vice versa. When an actor wants to chase music, like Jamie Foxx seems to have balanced it fairly well. I mean,
Yes.
he did so many things:
Yeah.
comedian, acting,
Absolutely,
music,
yeah.
da da da. So we've seen it happen, but it's rare.
It is rare. And I think really what it comes down to is what it is you want. A lot of times what happens, I think people end up getting more focused on one or the other because one may be more consistent. Like with films and stuff, I've been working on Pimp for 3 years. So it didn't happen overnight. So for me, it's all about if you're going to be creating your own projects, and that's what happens if you don't create your own stuff. You end up having to wait, and maybe you don't act as much, or maybe if you're not, really grinding out there in the music scene, you maybe not making as much music. Like a lot of the connections I've made have been because I've been out there. In other situations before when I was younger, like I said, I had my first record deal when I was 13, second when I was 16. So for me, it was like I couldn't really get out there. And when I became an adult and I wanted to approach the music industry without my mom and actually do it on my own, that was one of the main things I did. I've had to go to all these places and these underground clubs to really figure out what it was that the millennials wanted, what it is, what was missing, what it was I could offer. And so it's about doing the work. And I think a lot of times, sometimes people get tired of hustling. But
what did you sacrifice in all this hustle? Because your mom's a high school teacher, right? She works with autistic kids.
Yeah. Love this. Hashtag research.
I mean, we got people.
But she was also managing you from the very beginning, though, right?
Yes.
But I'm curious because
but I'm sure you guys had to sacrifice. Like there was things you couldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, and when I say these things, it's gonna seem like, oh, boo, 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 because most people has experiences. But like high school, those are real things that I had to sacrifice. Real social settings where I learned how to interact with people my age. Some people would think, well, that's normal. Of course you did. But no, I was on sets full of adults. You know what I mean? So it was very hard for me when I, started actually hanging out with people my age. As a young adult, there are a lot of things that I missed because I wasn't there in high school when these things were already discovered. Like some things you just know, I didn't know. So that was a big sacrifice with me. And also my family, like my little brother and sister, I just started going to their birthdays. You know what I mean? Because I would always be working and it wasn't anything intentional. You don't realize that stuff until you get older. Like, oh, this is important. It's important for my mom to spend time with them. It's important for my family to have actual moments together that we can remember we were all together. But those are things you sacrifice when you're chasing a dream. Because, and I always talk about this, is like at the end of the day, your life is your life. My family gonna be there, and sometimes you lose people and sometimes you gain people, but at the end of the day, I'm always have me. And so that's the one thing that, when I'm out here doing my work, my mom's not here with me anymore, I'm on my own with my assistant. That's what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this for the dream, for everybody out there that don't know that they can. If they see me do it, they're gonna know that they could.
No, I was just curious about the relationship between you and your mother, right? Because I've seen this happen in Hollywood before. So she was managing you at the very beginning of your career. How was it when you had to make the transition, when you had to be like, when you knew that your mom couldn't manage you anymore because you needed to take that extra step and she didn't have the experience?
Yes, Surplus. I'm sorry, I just saw that. I love Surplus.
Oh, yeah, me too. I love this brand too.
But
yeah, how was that?
It was very hard because my mom and I, because she is my manager, has been managing me in part of my career, our relationship never really became, it never has really become that mother-daughter relationship. Right. It's always kind of had a mentor feeling to it because she was my first acting coach. She was my first vocal teacher. I mean, she was everything to me. And so for a long time, we would be off and on at odds. And it wasn't until I was about 17 where I said, look, I don't need you to be my damn manager all the time. Like, I really need you to be my mother. Like, there's going to come a point where I'm not, that's the one thing I'm not going to have because you're not able to feel that because you're used to playing this other role. And so we had to go out, like from the age I was like 17, 18 to about right at 20, I had just moved out of the house. I was living with someone, Like it was just a total different time for me. But it was my time to expand and to grow. It was my college, you know what I mean? Even though it has a different backdrop to it, it's the same thing that everybody goes through. Mine just had acting as the thing that we were doing. And so when I became, like I said, like at 20, 21, I realized that my mother was human. And I realized that relationships have boundaries. And every relationship don't have to say this same way just because it was always that way. And so it was about talking and communicating with my mom. Like, look, this is what I need. And by the way, maybe you don't have to be everywhere with me because the twins need you too. Maybe and we had to talk about that stuff. And once we did, a lot of conversations, then we were able to make those changes. But it was very hard at first because it's just like, you get used to it. This is a habit. This is how it goes.
Is it more fun? Do you have a good time now though, getting to be on your own a bit and not always have mom with you at all every step?
Absolutely. Because it's like my mom is cool as hell. Like, it's so funny you talk about me cursing because my mom curses like a sailor and I'm just like her. So it's like me and my mom be cussing with each other. Like, we're very cool. Right. But at the same time, it's just like, Mom, if I have somebody come into the room, I really don't want you here for that. Right. And she's like, I'm cool. I'm like,
you're like, no. You're cool.
Right, I'm not that cool.
Right.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm not. It's more uncomfortable for me, but she's, like I said, she's so having my back that she's like, it's cool, whatever it is, whatever. But I'm just like, no, it ain't cool, whatever it is.
She got the deep voice too? The black mama voice?
Yes, so typical.
It's cool. Nah, we cool. We can hang out.
I'm good.
So has making this transition, hearing you talking about becoming a woman, the love life had to sacrifice too. How's
Baby, the
dating
love life
thing?
is still sacrifice.
Really?
Well, I heard you mention I moved out. I was living with someone. Was it like a girlfriend or with a
was a boyfriend.
significant other? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was dating a guy, and I've been dating him for a while. And,
Do we know him?
no, he's not an entertainer. No. But, it was one of those things where, again, I went from running out of my parents' house, right, to running into someone else, running into another attachment, pretty much.
That's
I was
right.
attached to my mom, and I'm like, okay, now who am I attached
I need someone
to
else.
now?
I need someone else.
Exactly. And so it was just a typical codependent type of relationship. I'm so glad that I was able to learn from it past 3 years and didn't, have no kids or, nothing further that would have
Made it permanent.
made it permanent. Not to say that would have been a mistake, but you know what I'm saying. I'm glad that I didn't stay in the codependency too long, and I was able to realize what type of choices I could make to get the type of outcome in my life that I wanted. Even though it would be unknown, walking down an unknown path, creating my own blueprint, so much easier sometimes to stay with what you know. You know what I mean? Even if it's not comfortable or the best feeling. But at the end of the day, I wasn't happy. There was stuff I wanted to do, and I wasn't inspired by life being in that situation. And so I had to just break myself from it, and that's when all the other doors opened for me to do all these other things and realize that there are things that I really wanted to do. It was almost like a depression. You don't know that it's there. It's like a wavering kind of fog, and you just feel like, I don't feel like doing nothing. You don't really know that you're depressed. And so once I got out of that, then I was able to kind of open up and be able to create on the type of scale that I'm creating now with music. Like, it's so weird the things you go through in your life. You don't know why you have to go through them. But then when you get to that end game, you're like, oh, this is why. Like, when I was doing the Enemies video, I had the vision and I had the tools to write the treatment. And I'm like, I would have never had that if I didn't go through.
If you didn't have life.
If I didn't have life.
If you didn't have life.
And so it's like now I'm ready. It's like now it's like, of course, now it's time, like, for me to really do music the way I wanted to all those years ago, because now I have the tools, now I have the confidence, and now I have the self-awareness of what it is I want to say. Nobody mentions that part to you when you become an artist. It's like you grew up singing in the church. You could sing, you should sing, you should sing. But nobody tells you what it means to be an artist. It's not all about you showing the world who you are. It's about you showing them that you know who they are.
Right.
And so once I realized that, it was so much easier for me to create music because I wasn't boxing myself up with the whole thing of, is this R&B or is this pop? No, is this telling a story?
Right.
Is this hitting
a great song?
Yeah, is this a great song really hitting somebody? Am I putting my voice on it? That's another thing that you realize when you're going through your artist development, you figure out who you want to be as an artist, that you know what? It doesn't matter the song as long as I'm always in it. Like if you listen to the If I Were a Boy reference and the Beyonce's version, two totally different records. Beyonce could sing anybody's song and make it Beyonce. She could sing Aerosmith.
That's right.
And make it hers. And make it hers.
That's right.
And I was like, that's what it's about. But if you don't know yourself, then you don't know how to input yourself.
And that's the same thing even with the Rihanna record, right? You hear the Party Next Door version, you're like, yo, this
It's a
sounds
totally
dope.
different song.
It sounds dope. But then you hear Rihanna's, you're like, yo. Or even the Tame Impala. There's a record on Rihanna's album that was done originally by Tame Impala that she redone.
Oh my gosh, and it's so brilliant too.
It's great.
I love
It's
that.
phenomenal.
The album's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's really
It's
good.
a really
Phenomenal
great album. I'm
phenomenal.
just not even going to kid you with that. Very well curated. It's perfect for the generation. What we're listening to right now, but lifted up to the masses. It was a very well done job. Oh, I love that. I really do love that. I love that when you
She
get
just
a
became 45 years old.
I was
and
about
just
to say,
dropped
you giving me so much
and
Angela
the children,
Bassett
and
right
the
now.
children,
mad
like,
auntie
You giving
vibes.
me Angela Bassett all
I
day
call
right now.
I be doing that on my Instagram, hashtag Auntie Keke, because I go to such an auntie vibe sometimes. I do not know why. I get it from my grandmama probably. R.I.P. Mildred.
So you got to watch out for this Ty Dolla $ign guy. So we've been watching, and we noticed you guys was a little.
Why do I have to watch out for him though?
He's a
Dollar
friend of
sign.
ours. Dollar $ign.
Love him.
He's
Love Ty.
We
You know,
he's easy
Ty-
to like, isn't he? He's easy to
Ty
like.
is one of the first people that embraced me in the music industry.
Sure, he did.
I bet
Very
he did.
tight.
Okay, you know what? I don't know.
That embrace. No.
I don't know how to.
He had his shirt on or his shirt off?
He had his shirt on, okay?
He had his shirt on.
Okay,
he
he
was
had his
sitting
shirt
at
on.
the piano or he was holding the guitar. Which
Sitting
one?
at the piano.
Come here, Keke, sit down.
He's
Let me talk to
touching.
you for a
He's
Musical.
touching you.
No, he's legitimately dope. He can
Nah,
drop it.
yeah.
He got on the I Don't Belong to You remix with Dage.
Yeah.
So dope.
Nah, he's incredible. Very, very talented dude.
Very talented dude.
You moved through that nice though. You moved through that little
thank you.
that little section of the interview real nice and
Thank you.
clean.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're not dating anybody, seriously.
I'm not dating anybody
You're having
serious.
fun, you're learning,
Having
meeting.
so much fun. Learning, meeting, learning a lot by myself and what I want and what I don't want. What I
your-
like and what I don't like.
Who's your favorite person to work with right now? Like, if you were to rank the people that you've worked with, that you would either love to go back in with, because we already talked about OVO, that kind of goes without saying.
Of
We know
course,
they're talented. But,
absolutely.
And obviously you've worked with Dolla and whether y'all partying together, hanging out, whatever y'all doing. But who else is out there?
I would love to work with The Weeknd. I would like to know how he works. I would, watch that process and see how he comes up with his ideas and makes his melodies, right? I would love to see how that comes about and be a part of that. I think he's very talented. Who else would I really like to work with? Or have I loved, enjoyed? I would like to work with Dej one-on-one. I think she's very dope, and I like.
She got that auntie Detroit swag too.
Right,
Y'all can wear fur coats together and act like old women together.
Bossed up, get a little cameo and pimp real quick.
Yeah.
Who else would I like to work?
I think at this point, right, like us watching you grow up, you've had TV shows, you've been in movies.
Countdown to mentioning
music.
porn in 3, 2.
I wasn't going there.
Okay,
I was actually gonna say, no matter what it is you do, I think people are a fan of you as a personality at this point,
I agree.
right?
Oh, thank you.
So like we're watching, whether you're like, yo, I'm putting out a film, people are gonna be like, I fucks with her, I'm gonna check it out. I'm putting out a song, I fucks with her, I'm gonna check it out.
dope.
So it's just at this point, we're just watching you grow, be dope, be awesome, and we're happy for you.
What?
I wasn't. Why'd you thought I was gonna mention?
I was
porn,
joking,
though?
but why'd you just turn to Flavor Flav too?
What?
She has kid, auntie, Flavor Flav. Yo, we are learning all the personalities of Keke Palmer.
Yo, but it's so real though. When I was a little kid, I used to have this thing where I'd be like, yo, Mika, Dika, Lika, and Keke. Those are different characters of me. And Lika was the one that was like more chill. Dika was the one that was like in between. And then Mika was the crazy, crazy, crazy one. And that just sounded crazy what I just said.
Yeah,
right
that
now.
what? she was basically just like,
No
Flavor Flav.
Kid actor problems, kid entertainer
Well, that's why her mom was like, yo, I'm gonna just manage this kid. Like, we
Yeah.
gotta go into business. This kid is bouncing off the walls. We gotta keep her busy.
off
We're gonna make
the
some money of this kid.
walls. I used to beg my mom when we'd be in church, please let me get a solo. Please. She'd be like, Keke, you too young. You're too young. I'm like, "But please.
And your mom's a singer as well?
Yeah, she was the choir director. When
Are
I
you the
was-
oldest?
No, I'm actually the middle child.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so.
Fighting for attention still.
Yes,
By
still.
the way, and that's why Keke's team is so big. They have one manager for each of her personalities.
Yeah. He cares for me.
Okay, that's for Mika directly.
There you go. Guys, give it up for
Yay,
Keke Palmer.
Keke.